They're gonna stop you again.
I see you. Busted.
I guess they are. We go back to the boat out there, carrying that boat.
Morning, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Cross the river. Boom.
I can't just tell them, oh, I don't know. He's still asleep.
Avatar and then the African safari. This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You've been here 2 minutes, you hadn't gotten in trouble yet? That's cool. Hold the mask down. We're looking for Pandora.
Along the side of the tree, there's carvings of different
Wow, look, it's Pandora's tree, babe.
It's what?
This Pandora's tree.
That?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty cool.
can you take me pictures there, please?
I can't. I thought you would never ask.
Milenario. Ese me trae bueno ahí. Dale.
A little bit?
No, I like here.
Have a great flight, everybody. We got an hour and a half.
Welcome aboard, everyone. Go ahead and slide all the way across the road. Make room for your entire party. My friends on the right, watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Those doors are sliding closed. Large enough to knock over a fully grown tree. And we know they make their way through this area on a daily basis, but it looks like they've already gone through the area for the day. If you look over on our right-hand side, though, you're going to see these animals with the huge horns on their head. Those are Anchovy cattle. I think there's actually about 3 of them back in the bushes there. Those horns that they have measure up to 6 feet across from one point to the other, but they are not as heavy as they look. Their horns have a honeycomb-like structure inside them, making them almost completely hollow. So they only weigh about 15 to maybe 20 pounds, depending on their length. There's also a lot of blood vessels that flow throughout their horns, allowing them to regulate their body temperature as well. And here on the island on the left, you can see a flamboyance of greater flamingos. Greater flamingos are the lightest pink, and they are the tallest of all the flamingos, standing about 3 feet tall. They weigh about 9 pounds. They get their pink color from the brine shrimp that make up most of their diet. Brine shrimp are very high in beta-carotene. That is exactly what turns their feathers and their skin from a gray color at birth to this light pink you can see here. And you can see another giraffe up there on our right-hand side. Now, if you look carefully on our left, you should be able to see a few gray flamingos mixed in with the pink ones. There's actually one right here next to us. The gray flamingos out here, they are about 7 months old, and they'll get their pink color when they're about 1.5 years old. And it looks like we have caught up to a bit of a traffic jam right now. I think I heard that there may be a rhino in the road up ahead. Trying to hang out right here. Very territorial, so they don't back down from most fights. They've been known to go head-to-head with lions, and they'll often win those fights. And here, also on our left, these 2 larger antelope. One back there, that's the male eland, and then over here is the female eland. Eland are the tallest antelope in the world. When they're fully grown, the males stand about 6 feet tall at their shoulder. They weigh about 700 pounds, and they can jump 5 feet straight up in the air with 8 feet directly in front of them. That is an extremely impressive jump for an animal that weighs 700 pounds. And on both sides of the truck, you can see a lot of these large red marble stones coming out of the ground. These are termite mountains. They can get all the way up to about 30 feet tall. They are as strong as concrete. They're made out of 3 materials. That's spit, dirt, and dung. And giraffes and elephants out here on the Savannah will use these termite mountains as scratching posts.
Sorry, I
they
almost
can
lost
bring them down
my
to
head.
almost nothing, and that's when smaller antelope that come along and jump on top of them. They would use them as lookout posts
Sorry,
to
you
keep an eye
okay?
out for their predators.
Yes.
As we're driving through here, take a good look at the lowest leaves and the moss hanging from these branches on either side of the truck. That's actually going to give you a really good idea of just how tall the tallest animal is out here on the savannah. The tallest animal is, of course, the giraffe, the tallest animal in the world. And those low leaves are some of their favorite snacks. Have a good look at the wildebeest over here. And it looks like there are some giraffe coming up over there on top of the hill. Now, A giraffe are firstborn, they stand about 6 feet tall, but they're going to measure about 19 feet. And to help them reach those leaves, giraffes have an 18-inch long tongue. You measure from the tip of your middle finger all the way down to your elbow. That's about the same length as a giraffe's tongue. It's actually long enough for them to lick their ears if they wanted to. Now these are Maasai giraffe here on the reserve. You can tell because they have a dark, messy pattern on their coat. And just like the zebras and the painted dogs, every single Maasai giraffe does have its own unique pattern as well. And a herd of giraffe like this is known as a tower of giraffe. Again, very fitting name because they are the tallest animal in the world. And they have the same number of vertebrae in the neck that we do. We both have 7. Those are obviously just much larger than ours are. Their heart is also a lot larger than ours. A giraffe's heart can weigh about 25 pounds and be about the size of a basketball. You can actually see up at that tree up there. You can see two baby giraffes. Their names are Maple and Zella. They're both about 4 months old. Maybe we can tell them apart by looking at their coats. Maple has a mapley spot on her shoulder, Zella does not. And here is a very rare sight of a giraffe lying down right next to us. Giraffes only lie down when they feel very safe and very comfortable, which is of course exactly what we want for all the animals here on the reserve, so we're very happy when we see something like that. But with that being said, they spend about 23 hours a day walking around and eating. That does not leave a lot of time for anything else like sleeping. On average, giraffes only get about 30 minutes of sleep every single day, and they tend to do that in small increments, kind of like a power nap. It's usually done while standing up and with their eyes open. Coverings on at all times, covering the nose and mouth. Secondly, make sure you're staying seated at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the vehicle, and hold on to all your personal belongings so nothing falls out of the truck. Now we're going to begin our safari today in the Little Anchovy Forest. Animals that call the Anchovy Forest home are very good at blending into their natural surroundings, so sometimes they can be pretty hard to spot. So make sure that you're keeping a sharp eye out for these ones specifically. If you look up in the corner here on our right-hand side, it's going to be pretty hard to spot until I get a little bit further ahead, but there is an okapi standing up there. And you will notice that the okapi has zebra-like stripes on its legs, but they are not related to zebras. Okapi are the only known living relative to the giraffe. They have the same skeletal structure as a giraffe and the same long, prehensile tongue that helps them grab the leaves off the branches. As a matter of fact, an okapi's tongue is so long, they're actually able to lick their own eyes, and sometimes they do. And over here, over there on our left-hand side, really good look. There's actually a black rhino lying down just past the watering hole. This is probably the best look we're going to get at that black rhino. We'll get a little bit closer, but once I get around that turn, it's going to start kind of hiding behind that rock a little bit more. And if its face was out from behind that rock, we'll be able to tell it's a black rhino by looking at its upper lip. And they have a pointed, prehensile upper lip. That's exactly what sets them apart from the white rhino. Down here on our right-hand side, you're going to see these 2 large black and white birds. Those are saddle-billed storks. They are the tallest of all the storks, standing about 5 feet tall. They have a 9-foot wingspan when they're fully grown. That is a male and a female. You can tell them apart by looking at the color of their eyes. Males have dark brown eyes, females have bright yellow eyes. And you can see up on top of this hill on the right-hand side, those light brown antelope. That is a greater kudu. It's a female greater kudu. You can tell because she doesn't have horns on her head like the males would. And they're the 2nd tallest antelope in the world, standing about 5 feet tall at their shoulder when they're fully grown. Again, just a quick glance at that black rhino before we keep on going here. Now, black rhinos weigh about 3,000 pounds. They can charge speeds up to 35 miles an hour. And because of their large size, rhinos have no natural predator. Their only real threat is us humans. Unfortunately, all rhinos do suffer from poaching. They are constantly being poached for their horns that are made out of keratin. That is the same thing that makes our hair and our fingernails, so those horns don't serve us any purpose. Now, unfortunately, due to that poaching, there's only about 5,000 of the black rhinos left in the entire world. Over here on our left, you can see some dark orange antelope on the hill. Those are bongos. Bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest because of the fact they're so rarely seen. The stripes that bongos have on them help them blend in really well to the tree lines. They can hide from their predators. Now, unlike the greater kudu that we saw back there, both male and female bongos do grow horns on their head. Their horns are pointed backwards so they get through the rough brush of the forest without getting tangled. Now, if you were ever lucky enough to pet a bongo, that dark orange color of their fur would actually rub off on your hands. We're going to make our way down towards the Safi River right now. This is a great place for us to try and find some Nile Hippopotamus. They like to hang out in the water, stay out of the hot sun. Let's see if we can find any down here. Hippos are nocturnal, so generally they're going to come out of the water at night. That's when they will do most of their grazing. They can eat about 90 pounds of vegetation every single night, so they are one of the largest and one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. When they're first born, they weigh about 85 pounds. Fully grown, they weigh about 6,000 pounds. What makes them so dangerous is how territorial they are. They run about 30 miles an hour on land, and they are not afraid to charge anything into their area. You can see one really well here on the left-hand side. Actually, there's going to be 2 of them. Kind of playing follow the leader right now around this island. Now, when hippos are not out grazing, they are normally spotted underwater, just like this. That's where they spend the majority of their day. Hippos can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes, even while they're sleeping, and their bodies will just naturally float to the surface when they need air, and then sink back down when they have enough. So they do not have to wait for that to happen. Oh, and there's actually 2 more just over here on the other side of the island. Oh, sorry, 3 more on the other side of the island. A group of hippos like this is known as a bloat of hippopotamus. And they are not very good swimmers. What we were watching on the news actually walk along the bottom of the riverbed. So they kind of do with their front feet, they walk and then glide with their back ones. Now when they come out to graze at night, hippos tend to get pretty separated from each other. So to communicate, they will do what's known as a wheeze honk. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a wheeze followed by a honk. The other hippos know where they are. And the more hippos that respond to those wheeze honk, the more dominant that hippo is. And down here on our left, you're going to see some Nile crocodiles on the bank of the river. Nile crocodiles are the largest crocodile in Africa. They can reach lengths of up to 16 feet. That's about as long as a giraffe is tall. Now their diet consists mainly of fish, but they will eat just about anything that crosses their path, including wildebeest or smaller hippos. They have a bite force of about 2,000 pounds per inch. That is one of the strongest bites of any animal. They can also be very gentle though. Female crocodiles will carry their eggs and their young in their mouth to get to a safe place. And we are about to head out onto the savannah, but before we get out there, there's one thing that I want to point out to you guys. It's going to be coming up just over here on our right-hand side. Alright, right over here, this is a Baobab tree, also known as the upside-down tree. If you take a look at its branches, you can tell just how it got that nickname. They kind of look like roots sticking up into the air. Baobab trees are leafless like that for about 9 months out of the year to help conserve their water. Now during the dry season here in Africa, you can often find many animals around Baobab trees. They'll use their tusks and their horns to bore holes in the trunks of the trees to get easy access to the water that's in there. For that reason, Baobab trees are also known as the tree of life. And as I come around these turns, you will get a great look over the savannah. We should be able to see some of the animals that call it home. It is, of course, home to some of the more popular animals of Africa, like the giraffes, elephants, and lions. But there are many other animals that call the savannah home. So let's see what we're able to find out here. We can already see, coming up on our right-hand side, just as I come around this turn, zebra are going to be just past these bushes. Now, these are Hartman's mountain zebra. The way that we can tell them apart from other zebras is by looking at their neck. They have what's known as a dewlap, which is a little flap of skin that hangs down underneath their neck, allowing for extra blood circulation. That can help cool their body temperature down a little bit. And that's something that you'll find on a lot of animals here in Africa because of how hot it gets. It's something that is specifically to these zebras. And people always ask if they are white with black stripes or black with white stripes. The very easy way to tell is by looking at the color of their nose, because that is their natural skin color. And if you didn't notice, all 4 of those zebras back there did have black noses, so they are black with white stripes. And they do all have their own unique pattern of stripes, kind of like how you and I have our own unique fingerprints. That is, of course, how they can tell each other apart. And a herd of zebra like that was known as a dazzle of zebra. Over here on our right, you can see that herd of white-bearded wildebeest, most of them lying down over there. White-bearded wildebeest have been seen traveling in herds of up to 1.5 million, and they're able to walk about 500 to 1,000 miles every single year during their migrations. And coming up on our left, in just a moment past these bushes, you're going to see a den in this area. There are some predators that like to hang out over here. I'm just trying to give that truck a little bit more space, just right on top of them. But this area is going to be shared by 2 different animals. Sometimes it's the African wild dogs out there, sometimes it's the spotted hyenas. And right now it looks like the African wild dogs up on the left-hand side of the den. You can see, it looks like there's 2, maybe 3 of them lying down back there. African wild dogs are also, my sentence there, spend about 18 to 20 hours a day resting. They do that to conserve their energy when they go out and hunt at night. Now it is the females of the pride who go out and do the hunting, while the males stay back to protect the pride. However, usually it is the dominant male of the pride that gets first dibs of the food once it comes back. I know everyone loves them very much. Now they actually make very convenient pets because of how small they are. They take up very little space, so there's no habitats that need to be destroyed in the making of a habitat for these animals. So this whole area shows that people can live out here very peacefully with their pets right next to wild animals like ostrich and rhinos and warthogs that we just saw out there. And that will leave me plenty of time to tell you guys that survival story about the Bontebok. At one point, there was only about 17 Bontebok left in the world. That's less of them than there are people on this truck right now. And there was a farmer in Africa that noticed that there were fewer and fewer of them, so he decided to do something to help save those animals. Now, unlike other antelope, Bontebok are not very good at jumping, so he built a small pen on the last few that were nearby that was able to keep them inside and protect them from...
Para sacar eso, deforestan el lugar y por eso se pegaban.
Hi, my friends. Don't push the bird. Just let it kind of have its time. If you want to go around it, you can, but don't walk at it.
Hombre, se me mete un coñazo.
Yeah, don't have to plants this man.
Sí, 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 sí.
Corte guarinero. Corte colombiano.
¿Corte qué?
Colombiano, que son corte y corte y te dan como al medio de la sí, corta bonito.
Long line. Why don't we do this? You wait right here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then I'll take your place, and you can walk around and look over here while I'm in line. Okay?
I want bathroom.
Okay. You wanna go find it first?
Mm-hmm.
Force Lake. Oh yeah. Raider. What Crosby iron?
Next to each other. Where's your water bottle? I don't. Where's your water bottle?
Yeah, in a really good way. We don't
Hey, friends.
Hey.
We got some of our Asiatic water buffalo out in the field. Right up there at the very top of the hill.
You want an ice cream? Mm-hmm. Which one do you want?
You gotta turn off your flash.